you not turn on the camera? So I think I will take about only 1 hour, or maybe about 1 hour and maybe 2 hours, not extend to 7 o'clock in the evening, because these topics I really need to all of you understand about the meanings of the intelligence and cognitions, that sometimes it's combined to each other, right? Right? You got it? So you know about the meanings of a cognition, it doesn't mean that you will become intelligent. All right? So there is such a way that you have to learn how to become the intelligent. You will learn today. All right? Is this not existed in any textbook? Yes, of course, in English textbook, but for sure you don't have time to go to read all the textbook because they are all in English, and then you do not understand well. I try to summarize all the meanings, all the contents about intelligence and cognition. So the PowerPoint that I already shared with all of you, the PowerPoint is just a PowerPoint. The content is just content. But the pictures or the figures that I'm going to show in my PowerPoint, they are all different. They are not existed in the PowerPoint at all. All right? All right? So I'm just still waiting because many students coming join นะเก่งนะยังเข้ามาเรื่อยๆนะครับ
งั้นอาจารย์ก็อีกสักประมาณ 4:10 หรือว่า 4:05 นาทีก็ได้ครับ
โอเคเดี๋ยวรอตรงนี้แหละ So any students have any questions and want to ask to me while waiting for other students for waiting for your friend นักศึกษาคนไหนอยากจะถามอะไรอาจารย์ไหมครับอยากจะถามอะไรอาจารย์ไหมครับมีตรงไหนสงสัยคราวที่แล้วสอบได้หรือเปล่าไม่รู้นะ แต่วันนี้มีควิสนะวันนี้มีควิสถ้าใครตามควิสวันนี้สอบได้แน่นอนไม่มีทารุณกรรมนักศึกษา โอเคเพราะฉะนั้นวันนี้คิดว่าน่าจะถ้าใครตามควิสวันนี้ได้นะบอกได้เลยสอบได้แน่นอนแล้วอีกท็อปิกเก็บอีกกี่ท็อปิก
ครับเหลืออีก2ท็อปิก
เหลืออีก2
ครับอีก2ท็อปิกก็จะจบแล้วครับ
ยาวไปเมษาจากนี้ก็ออนไลน์หมดเลย
ใช่ครับ
โชคดีไปนักศึกษาโชคดีไป
ก็3ท็อปิกครับไม่ใช่2
3ท็อปิกเนาะ
3ครับ3
จริงๆเลื่อนมาวันที่28เลื่อนมาช่วงนี้เพราะว่าอะไรเพราะว่าแผนว่าจะขึ้นที่เชียงรายนั่นแหละนะแต่ผลปรากฏว่าเปลี่ยนกระทันหันโอ้เปลี่ยนไฟเปลี่ยนที่พักกันอุตลุดเลยเกือบไม่ทันแต่ยังไงก็ต้องไปวันที่30นี่งานแล้วก็30บ่ายนะ4 โมงเย็นก็สอนเสร็จที่2นะครับนะ
ใช่ครับจะเป็นหุสนานะครับเสร็จ2ครับจะเป็นหุสนาครับไม่ใช่ผมนะครับแต่ถ้าหุสนาไม่ว่างเดี๋ยวผมก็จะมาทำหน้าที่ในนี้แทนครับ
โอเค
ครับ
แต่ว่าตอนนั้นก็อยู่ว่านาเวศแล้วครับไม่รู้ว่านาเวศอินเทอร์เน็ตโอเคไหม
น่าจะโอเคนะครับ
โอเค So student want to ask something to me want to chat with me so I'm waiting for other students joining the class so if you have a question raise your hand and unmute your microphone and ask
hello Jan how are you
yes any questions
actually Ajahn during exam I had so many questions but now I forget all my lessons I just want to ask Ajahn when we talk about intelligence and emotional empathy and everything Is it not wrong to be over emotional or sentiment all the time?
I cannot hear you well. I have to turn on the microphone, the speaker, sorry. Yeah, say it again.
When we talk about empathy, right, Ajan? And when we talk about emotional empathy, na? Emotional quotation, I think. I forget about the topic. So we learned so many things now, Ajan, but what I'm asking is being overly empathic or being overly sensitive, is it wrong?
I don't understand exactly what's question about the questions.
I'll type.
Yeah, you're fine. Okay. I'm so sorry, I don't understand your questions. you can text me later. Okay? Okay.
Yeah.
So what is that here? 4 p.m. already. All right. So shall we start? Manisha,
Yes, Ajan.
shall we start?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So all right. So let me start. All right. We have I think it takes about 1 hour or 2 hour, almost 2 hours, not extend to 7 p.m. I think because this topic is very short, actually, because there are only about 40 sums or maybe 50 sums PowerPoint or slides that I really want to deliver all the content to all of you. As we understand, this subject is a psychology in daily life. That means that you just pick up the concept or the contents about the psychologies which is related to any topics, and then you are able to apply it to your daily life. All right. Sometimes we learn a lot about the psychologies. We learn about so many topics, but we still don't know how to apply it to our daily life. All right. So the intelligence and cognition, they are all combined to each other. That means that sometimes you are very clever, but you may not be intelligent. All right. You if sometimes you have less cognitive or cognitions or knowledge, but you are more intelligent.
Yeah.
This is the way how to apply it, how to combine it. Because we are living in the society, and then there are so many things that all happens around us. So we have to apply and learn how to live, right, with other people, with other environment, and live in the society successfully and happy. All right. So I have two slides. The first slide that I have to show you now. This is the full slide. The PowerPoint or slide that I share with all of you, they are all only content, not shows all the pictures. Because you know why? Some of the pictures are in copyright. I cannot share all those pictures to all of you because they are copyright. All right. So, and then I have the others PowerPoint, that the PowerPoint for the quiz. The quiz here means that you have to listen carefully and go slide by slide. If you go with me for the quiz slide, I'm pretty sure that you will be success and get the high score. That's the way I can help all of you. Okay? All right? So let's start. The cognition and intelligence. As I said, I'm Pakalawat from the Neuroscience Research Center at the School of Anti-Aging and Regenerative Medicine in Bangkok. Right, the same university, but not in Chiang Mai province. All right. So we will start with right. So the intelligence here. We start with intelligence, and then we will go combine with the cognition. The intelligence, there are many types of the intelligence. As I show you on the screen, there are spiritual intelligence, that's your whole brain's process. And then they need the synchronous processing, spiritual intelligence. And we have the IQ or intellectual intelligence. That's normally located on the left brain. All right, it is functions about the serial processing. That means that you collect all the data, the contents or the information or blah, blah, blah. That's mostly functions on the left side of the brain. And then the other side on the right brain, it is involved with emotional intelligence, right? That's for imaginations about the sensory, about so whatever you feel, appreciate, and then you feel, that's by emotion. This is on the right, located on the right brain, and that's for parallel processing. All right. So whenever you use, whether you use the left brain or the right brain, or whether you use the intellectual intelligence, or whether you use the emotional intelligence that integrate that means that you use the spiritual intelligence that is synchronous, the synchronous processing that you use of the whole brain. All right. This is just the concept. You just know. Don't try to remember that, just try to understand that what happened during your daily life, while you are working, while you're studying, while you're playing, tennis, while you are shopping or blah, 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 that you all use the left brain and the right brain, right? That we call the spiritual intelligence. So for the meaning, what is the intelligence actually? The meanings of the intelligence, all right? So the intelligence, no matter the culture is, that can be Indian cultures, that for the Indonesian culture, for Malaysian culture, for Western or Eastern culture, no matter the culture is, the intelligence is ability to learn from the experience. All right. So for example, when you go to other country, you join any conference, you join any symposium, you join any ceremony, which is different from your own country. Your ability to learn from the experience, how to go to that place, how to go, how to protect yourself, how to learn, how to everything, that's from your experience. And then the ability to solve the problems. For example, right, when you go to other country to join any ceremony or to join any events, so of course that place is different from your home place, right? So you can solve the problem. All right, that's an encounter to your life, so that you can join the event successfully. And then the intelligence of yours is the ability to use your own knowledge to adapt to the new situations. All right. So the same, when you go to other places in other country to join any event, so you are become intelligent to adapt yourself, to learn from yourself, to solve any problem encounter during you stay in that place, and then use your own knowledge to adapt yourself for new situation. This is the meanings of the intelligent. All right, you got it? So as the psychology, this is psychology. In order to identify the meanings of any issue, any topics, or any specific topics related to the psychology, we need an organization that try to help us to summarize or to change, to adapt or whatever they do. They need an organization to help us. These mentions organizations we call as the American Psychological Association, or APA. The APA is a big organization that includes all the scientific or professional organization, not only individual but also corporate or professional organizations. That's both individuals and organizations will represent the psychologists. That means that all the psychologists will join that organization. But because American Psychological Association or APA, of course, this organization will include only the psychologists in the United States. In India, there is also the Indian Psychology Association. In Thailand, there is a Thailand Psychological Association. In Malaysia, also the Malaysian Psychological Associations. We have individuals in each country to identify or to declare or explore whatever happening by means of psychology in daily life. All right, happen to us. So, we focus on the American Psychological Association first. The APA mentions about the intelligence as the intelligence refers to intellectual functioning. What does it mean for intellectual functioning here? The intellectual functionings refers to the general mental ability. All right? Intellectual functioning here means our mental ability. Our mental ability function for what? For giving the listening. You can explain why do you do this? Why this cause? Why will the results will be happen? Because of this cause. You can give the listening. All right? You can make a plan or have a planning. You can plan to do the other thing, blah, blah, blah. And mental abilities of problem solving. You can solve the problem, all right, by your own experience base. Abstract thinking, you can understand about the abstracts, all right, which is also related to your own background. And then you can understand or comprehending complex idea, all right? So because you can imagine that, you can remember if you recall back to your life, if you are now the fourth year student, all right, you can recall to when you was your first year student. So now you can understand complete complex idea already because you are the fourth year student. Okay, all right, and then you can learn quickly
Azan,
from your experience. All right. Yes.
but Azan, in memory we learn that 99% of what we learn we forget, right?
You cannot learn from what?
In memory, mind and memory, we learn that 99% of what we learn, we forget.
Uh-huh.
So, we forget things, then how can we be good at these things? You know, since we already forget 99% of things that we learn.
I'm so sorry. So sorry. I don't understand what you're saying. You speak so fast in Indian style. All right. Manisha, you can leave a text. You can leave a message for me later. Okay?
Okay, Azan.
Yeah, okay. I'm so sorry because other student will confuse. Understand. Sometimes you speak theory, but sometimes I don't understand exactly because psychology is psychology. I want to let you understand very clearly that just saying in the class. Okay, but anyway, you can leave any question for me. Okay. Yeah. All right. So the intellectual functions refer to general mental ability. All right. That's all include the listening, the planning, problem solving, blah 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 in here. All right. This is according to American psychology, and sometimes when the intellectuals functionings impaired, that means that it's no more fully functions, or sometimes it's significantly limited, that cannot extend or more, for example. So this is we call as an intellectual disability, right? This is happen in patients normally. So, but that's the meaning. But don't go into detail. I will not let you go into detail. But just know that whenever intellectuals functioning, that's includes the mental, that refer to mental ability, includes all of these functions. If they are all impaired, that we call as intellectual disability. That means that the patients or persons cannot, live with normally. All right. So how will you know? Many scientists or many researchers also develop a questionnaire, or that we call as the intellectual intelligence quotient or IQ test, in order to compare between the performance of persons to persons. All right. For example, when you use the IQ test to compare the mental ability or intelligence, compare with ourselves to the other people with the same age, for example, all right, and the same test, and then we will know how intelligent we are, all right. But sometimes the test is just the test. The test don't measure all kinds of intelligence. It can measure only some kinds of intelligence only. All right. We have so many tests, or sometimes we call it an inventory. No, not a questionnaire. Questionnaire is just questionnaire. The question is not the inventory. The inventory is the tool to investigate the meanings of the people, of the brain function or psychological function, for example. But anyway, here, in terms of intelligence, or we use the intelligence quotient or IQ to test or to compare between our performance with other people, all right, with the same age, all right. All right, but it doesn't mean that it can measure all kinds of intelligence. That you need to understand it, all right, in order to measure the intelligence. So intelligence here is a cognition. You got it? So that's why I say that intelligence and cognition, they are come together, they combine together. All right. The intelligence here is the cognitions comprising or composing of the sensory. All right. That's why you have to feel what you feel. That's from from your so sorry. Can you see my screen?
No, Ajahn, only your picture is showing.
Oh, let me share again.
สกรีนอาจารย์หายไปครับ
มันหลุดได้ไงวะ All right, you see it? You see it?
เห็นแล้วครับ
Okay, all right. So the sensory that I already told you last time, that visual, auditory, smell, all right, or taste, and then touching, for example. That's composed of that's a sensory. And then perceptual associative in the way you perceive the information, and relational knowledge. All right. Last time I told you already about the relational processings of the human brains, right? That can link to each other if you have a basic knowledge, right? So the intelligence is a cognition that composed of sensory, perceptual, associative, and relational knowledge. And then is it a sum? Is it a sum of total of cognitive processes that include the information coding? You remember that last time I'm talking about the three hypotheses or three theory. You need the information coding. You need to plan. You have a planning. You have to attend. You have attention, and also allow. So that all the sum of the total cognitive processes that includes all of these in order to be a cognition to understand. All right. So, but anyway, it doesn't mean that if you know about this and then you become intelligent. But intelligence is the means that how you react or to your behavior. All right. I will tell you today about the trick. Okay. The next. So intelligence in overall here. The intelligence is ability to modify and adjust behavior. So now you know. Now the behavior has come already. All right. So that's why I say that you become your intelligence is also involved with the cognitions and the behavior. All right. Sometimes I say, you have so many knowledge, but sometimes you are not intelligent. Compared with the other people who have less knowledge and have lack of knowledge, but they become more intelligent. How they become intelligent? Because they react or behavior is more appropriate. right? So the intelligence here means that in general, in summary, the ability to modify, you can adapt yourself or adjust or change your behavior or control your behavior to make the task successfully. Whatever the task that you are facing with in your daily life, right? That's you're clever enough to ability to modify and adjust your behavior to make your task become success. And then the intelligence also involved with many different mental processes. Okay? The general mental ability about the world, blah, blah, blah. The previous slide say that involves so many different mental processes. That's happen automatically, all right? And then may vary, maybe change in nature. In nature, right? It depends on your own culture. For example, like Manisha, you're from India,
Nepal.
in Nepal, right? You come from Nepal and then come to Thailand, stay in the north of Thailand. Sometimes you are more clever, you are more intelligent than me, right? Because I live only in Bangkok, in central, in the city. Not ever, stay longer, about 4 years or 5 years, right? It did not, for example. But the intelligence may vary in nature, depends on our own culture. So that's why when you become young, that's our professor really want you work so hard so that you will gain more experience and then adapt to your culture. But in fact, believe me, the older people working harder than the younger people. All right. So, but we actually want to push the younger people working harder than older people because the older people want the younger harder to learn many things. All right. When they become older people, they will understand their daily life. But in fact, the younger people works less than older people. You see, older people still working so hard, spend a whole day, so many hours working and working. Okay, that's the intelligence. You understand it? All right. So the psychologists believe that the intelligence is a concept, not a thing. All right. So that's make the intelligence become complicated and become difficult to understand. Okay. All right, because in the intelligence is combined with the cognition, and then it helps us just show us the ability to modify and adapt our behavior in order to make the task become successfully. So intelligence is a concept, but not the things. Go slide by slide with me, and then you will learn, and then you can apply it while you are living or studying in Mephalong University, Chiang Mai. All right, how to intelligent act. You know what I mean? For the act means the action. The act is the act. So simple word. How to intelligent act, right? The action, the action, and then behavior, right? And intelligence and cognition. You learn many things from many subjects, from many professor already. So how to intelligent act, how to act intelligently?
Asking question.
Yes, but I do not know whether I can answer you. Maybe later. Maybe later. Try to slide by slide, Manisha, right? Go slide by slide with me first, okay? So look at on the screen how your environment affects to you. Think about your environment. If you are living, if you are staying in dormitory in Chiang Mai province, all right, no matter the place is, how your environment affects you. Look at the pictures. In the middle, you are, all right, and the other many cycles, small cycle around you. The small cycle is the environment. This one environment, this is the second environment. The second environment, the first environment might be your laboratory. The second circle means your environments of your friend. The third environment may be your friend in dormitory. The fourth cycle means the environments of your own, blah, 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 your family or other colleague, blah, blah, blah. So you are in the middle. All right. So when the environment have a positive action to you, think about it. Follow me. if the environments have a positive action to you, and of course, you will have a positive actions to the environment. All right? Get it?
Yes.
That's step by step. And then, if the environment have a negative effect to you, for sure, you are a human being, you will have a negative effect to the environment. Okay?
Yes.
Got it? So your effects on your environment, because look on the screen, sentence by sentence, try to understand it. This is the way of intelligence. Your actions, the blue color, right? Your actions affect the action. The action here means the reactions of the other in the environment, in the group. Your actions to the environment, right? So that's the reactions of the other will to your action, and then we create the reaction from you. Okay, you action first to the environment, and then people in the environment will feedback to you. That's called the reaction. And then their reaction to you, of course you will reactions to them. Okay, you start with the action first, right? You start with you start actions to them, and then they react to you, and then you will react to them. It will create the reaction from you and vice versa, back and forth, back and forth. So the reaction will create more reactions from those around you. It depends on how many environments allow you. All right. If you have a friend in the lab, if you have the environment of laboratory with a professor, with your or ajahn, so if you action to the reaction will create so many reactions. So when you go out of the laboratory, you go to dormitory, you have another environment, and then you actions to the other people. All right. So the other people will create the reaction, and then you create action and reaction. So then you will create so many reaction. You got it? Okay. So next, look at this picture. Look at this picture.
Ajahn, not speaking anything or silence is a form of reaction as well.
Can you say again?
Silence a form of reaction too?
Yes, of course. Both silent and loud, no matter. Okay, no matter the silent or not silent. Okay, right? Look at this picture. In this cartoon, the cartoon, there is a committee, one committee, and the applicants here. The one committee and the applicants composed of the crow, right? Monkey, um, penguin, elephant, fish, or I don't know how to call it, and then dog. All right. The committee said that for a fair selection, everybody has to take the same exam. All right. The same exam here. Please climb that tree. Is this fair or not fair?
Not fair.
Not fair. You know why? Because, of course, the birds can fly to the tree. How about the elephant? Worse than this, the fish, how the fish can climb the tree. This is already happened in our daily life. Believe me. All students, this cartoon show you this is the real life that's happened in your life. No fair. All right? Understand it?
Yes.
So, in psychology, it's summary as the barriers to success. In order to become success, there are 4 barriers that cannot make you success in whatever you are doing. Or sometimes we call or as the 4 insanities. The insanity mean here that you make you become insane, become crazy, become headache, for example. All right. There are 4 barriers that block you become successful. The first one, common sense is common. Okay? Common sense is common. We have often knows or hear from other people say that common is just common. No. Look at the picture. There are two birds, all right, peacock and I don't know how to call it again. Right, there are two birds. Huh? The first bird. Yeah. Okay. Ostrich, right? The first bird say that we must nest on the tree. All right. The first bird said that, yeah, this is because we are a bird, have to make a nest on the tree. Whereas the other birds, that sky bird said, no. We must nest on the ground. All right. So your reality is just your reality. Your reality means that depends on you. The realities of the pilot said that, right, must nest on the tree. But where the other person said that, no, we must nest on the ground. So your reality is just your reality. Common sense are the things that you learn through your experience. So believing people can see through your reality will make you insane. So common sense is no real. Don't say the common is just common sense. Don't say that to others, to your friend, because you are come from different reality. All right? You come from different culture. You come from different experience. Don't say to your friend that just common. No, common sense is not common. Okay? All right? The second, if you can do it, if I can do it, you can do it too. Don't say there is no existence in the world. You know why? Look at the cartoon. We have a turtle and monkey. Monkey say that, wow, everyone can do it. Climbing that the tree is so easy. The monkey say that climbing to the tree is so easy. Everyone can do it, right? How about turtle? Turtle can do it? No, the turtle cannot do it. All right? So don't say that if I can do it and you can do it too. There is no real, no existence in our world. You know why? Because everyone is equipped with differently. And we process and approach things different way, naturally, different style. Okay? So believing that just because something A are you so clear to you, and the other cannot do it too, will drive you become insane. Don't expect other people by saying that if I can do that, if you can do that, other people or your friend can do it. No. All right. This barrier is not existent. Try to be careful. The third one, people should be fair. All right. Don't say that because this is no existent either. Look at the cartoon. All right. The monkey get award. The monkey said that I got awarded for that successful project we did. How about the other? The dog said that, but it was all my idea. You get award, but this is my idea. And the other, you say that no, but I work harder than you. Okay? So people should be fair. It's not real. It's not existent. The fairness is subjected to your reality. And it's not equal. Okay? All right? So, for example, I give another situation. There are two people that will become promoted at the head of the department. The first persons come to the office very early. Okay? The office will start at 8:30 in the morning, o'clock in the morning. But that the first persons, right, come to the office very early by 6 o'clock, by 7 o'clock. And then they went back home very late, maybe, about after 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock every day. The other person, he comes to the office by 8:30 exactly. And they went out to his home by 7:30 exactly. So who's going to be promoted? should be the first one? No. Why you give the first one promoted?
Because you come faster.
Right. Just because they come earlier, no. Because the rules of the company say that everyone should come by 8:30 and then gone by 7:30. So the second people go exactly the same. So people should be fair, is not exist. It depends on the benefits, what you learn, what you want. Okay? All right? And the fourth one, the truth is universal. No, it's not real. You know why? Look at the cartoon. The monkey said that nothing better than banana. Banana is the best. All right? This is the truth. The truth from the monkey. But how about the cat? The cat said, no, 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 no. Banana is not the best. But the fish is the best food for me. Okay? How about the other? The other said that, no, 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 no. Nothing. The sheep, huh? The sheep said that nothing. The grass is better than fish and better than banana. So right? So we have three truths. So the truth is not universal. If the truth is subjective to the interpretation, it depends on how you interpret the meaning. Okay? So interpretation is subject to your reality and your perception. So that's all, these are all four barriers that protect you become success. Sometimes all of these four barriers are all make you become insane. All right? That is the first step for make you become intelligent. You become fully intelligent. There are so many steps. Follow me step by step. So now you have four barriers. You understand about four barriers. So next time, don't say that common sense is just common sense. Don't say that because the common sense is not common. It depends on your ability. And then don't say that if I can do it, you can do it. You know, talk with your friend in your group. Don't say that because we are all come from different experience and ability. All right. So then say that people should be fair because you are just writing down and make a note, and then your friends also use their brain to think about, or other friends have a brainstorming or blah blah blah. So no fair. All right, it depends on you're happy or not happy. And then the last one, the truth is universal. Sometimes you like this sweet thing, you like this cake, and then your friend don't like this cake, they like the other food. For example, the truth is not universal. If you focus on of these barriers, you will become insane for sure. These all psychology summarize to all of you. All right, you get the trick, the first trick already. So let's go to the next trick. The focus. Okay. The focus, of course. Sometimes you focus during this time. Man, everyone in Chiang Mai probably will focus on what?
PM.
PM 255. You focus on that and then complain. Eh? After focus, you complain about everything or blah, blah, blah. All right, and post on Facebook. Okay? All right, that's that. You focus on it. I will tell you this is the second trick. That's make you become intelligent or not intelligent. Okay? In our brain, we have the brain's organs that we call as the reticular activating system or IS. Where is it? Look at the picture. This is a blue, is a purple color in the midbrain. Okay? On the brainstem. All right? So the IS here, this picture will show you there are two pathways, ascending sensory tract. The ascending means from bottom to top, bottom up, all right? But descending means top down, all right? That is the pathway. The reticular formation and reticular activating system here, composed of here. These are all with the purple or maybe the pink color here. All right, the ascending sensory tract, that means that the reticular activating system in your brain will perceive no matter the sensory is. You remember the first slide I'm talking about the intelligence and cognition, right? Starting with the sensory, right? You feel, you smell, you taste, or blah, blah, blah. Or even the pain or touch or temperatures or everything, the sensory. That's the sensory tract will import the information up to your brain. All right, and then visual impulse, visual when you see the pictures that send the signal through your retina, through the visual tract, and then finalize to the reticular activating system. And then the auditory impulse also, when you hear something, you hear blah 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 blah, and then come to your ear, and then you go to the passage, the acoustic nerve, and then to reticular activating system also. All right, but and then vice versa for the descending motor signal. All right, after you hear it, and then you make a note after you hear it, after you taste it, and then you try to protect yourself. For example, right, the let's say for the dust, PM 2.5. After you feel it, after you see, the atmosphere is not so clear. All right, so your reticular activating system will function fully function. Try to avoid yourself. Try to protect yourself from the hazardous, atmosphere or dusty, right? Try to avoid it. That's just it. We learn that your brain will learn. We get information at both ascending or descending and control yourself. That you make you become intelligent by protect yourself from the dangerous, all right, from hazards, right? Pollution. All right, you got it. This is the reticular formation. This is very important. All right, that make you become intelligent or not intelligent. And then we focus and reticular activation or focus on the IAS. Your IAS here. Look at this picture. Everyone in the brain has a radar. Okay, just give you example. Give you imagine. Everyone has a radar in the brain. That means that your IAS will make the difference in the environment. Okay, you understand from the previous slide? Every slide combined to each other, nah. All right, from your environment, you react to the environment, right? Because now the environment is different because the environment is now composed of so many dust. Okay, so your IAS, you make the difference in the environment. And then it is a unconscious system that is built in your brain, or that built in our brain. We know, we perceive that, we understand that outside of the dormitory, outside of our house, we have so many dust. So this is unconsciousness that the building, and then make us different from the environment. It is your choice to control your focus, whether you want to react in positive way or in negative way. If you react in negative way, of course, evening after Ajahn Pakalawat lecture, we join, we will meet somewhere. All right, we will join, we have things, blah blah blah. So this is a negative. Your choice, you control your focus in a negative way. But if you think that okay, yes, of course, maybe today we won't go out. All right. So after that time, we won't go out because the outside is not good. The atmosphere is not so good, so many dust. So you try to control your focus as a positive. And then your IAS will perpetuate your behavior. Okay? That's your behavior will come out on that. That's of this reason. That's your behavior because of your IAS. And then so, of course, your reality, your life, your reality, your daily life will be based on what you are focusing on. If you are focusing in negative way, of course, your way, your life, your brain will focus and think about negatives all the time. Okay? And then you behave in negative way. Your behavior will be in not a good way, but in negative way. So of course, in vice versa, if your reality is based on your focus on the positive way, of course, your life will become positive. Everything will become clear. But if you focus on the negative way, your brain will not clear. That's the functions of IAS or reticular activating system. That's cause you become intelligent or not intelligent. You have your own radar on your brain. Okay? Next slide. There are 4 scenarios. Look at the slide. There is a test. There is also a quiz. 4 scenarios. On the vertical right, It is the fulfillment. The fulfillment here means that you success in your job. Okay, how you succeed in your job. And the horizontal line is how you focus on by means of your reticular activating system. Okay, look at the first one. The first scenario here, you didn't get done. Because why? Because the time is stolen by insignificant things. All right, you lose. The time is stolen by insignificant things. That means that you focus on insignificant things and you lose your time. No productive. Don't feel good sometimes. All right. So that means that you less focus and less fulfillment. What you have to do, you have to be avoid. For example, when you have quarrel with other friend, when you have a problem with other friend, and then if you focus on that, all right, for the whole day, okay, and then you less focus and then less fulfillment, no work, no job at all on the day because you focus on the negative. Try to avoid. And then the second scenario. In this the second scenario, you focus on the things that give a short-term emotional gratification. You focus on the thing that you feel, just feel happy. For example, you post Facebook, right? You post the content on Facebook, and after that, you follow, you look at, you try to get on the Facebook and see how you thumb thumb right to you, all right, and count the thumb right, how many thumb right I will get after I post the content, for example. All right, on Facebook, this is the thing. And then it's also not Facebook, but for computer game. You less focus on your daily life and then you high fulfillment a little bit. So you have to limit yourself. Don't play Facebook the whole day, except you get money from the Facebook. Okay? So that's the second scenario. The third scenario here, high focus but less fulfillment. You know why? Because you do what you believe is right and due to responsibility, but you lack passions, no personal benefit. For example, like this class, the class will say that, Ajahn Pakalavat said that I will have a quiz. So all of you will come to join, but without passion. Just join. Just join and wait. If Ajahn Pakalavat posts the quiz, okay, I can do the quiz. You have no passions. Okay, no personal benefits. So many situations, many scenarios happen to our daily life, like this scenario. What you can do, you have to manage. Okay, the fourth one, high focus and high fulfillment. You get success for sure because everything is perfect. High productivity. For example, like this class, cognition and intelligence. Don't spend your time to read a textbook. No, no, not a textbook. Psychology in daily life, that means that you get the content and then you can apply, you understand it clearly. Example, you focus on. Example, like my lecture today. You have to focus on every slide because every slide combine to each other. Okay? All right, and then you understand very clear. There are 4 scenarios. Try to remember it. There is also exceeded in the examination. Trust me. All right. Look at this picture. Tell me, help a monkey. The monkey is on the bottom. You are here, the monkey. Please help the monkey to get the what we call the clock. Okay. I have 10 minutes. If anybody find a way, in a mess here, find a way to get the cloud, raise your hand. Okay, I count 1 to 10, or 10 until 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
Intelligence.
5, 4,
Wait now.
3, no, not hold on, 2, 1. All right, time's up. You cannot find a way. right?
And I went to assumption about courage. Second
Yeah,
topic.
yeah. You see, this is the way. Look at this one. You got it? All right. So
Huh?
this is the way.
No.
I can say that my question is that I asked you to help the monkey to get the crown, right?
Ah, you didn't
Right?
ask us to go through all this maze.
Yeah, I didn't mention that. All
Common
right.
sense is not common.
Yeah, this is, you know why? Because this is, we call in psychology, we call as an encoded assumption. You know, because you know why? You know about the four barriers. This is the encoded assumption. The assumption here means that you learn about the maze game, and then you learn already when you see the maze game, you have to go through the maze, right? Right? So you encode that. This is already encoded in your brain, and then you deny the other choices. All right? Until I show you here, there is another choice that you sometimes you forget it because you know why? Your brain is become as a encoded assumption. The perceptions of any situation based on the boundary we have set for ourselves. Understand? The perception, the ways of your perceptions of any situations based on the boundary that you already have set it up by yourself, the boundary. So, and these boundaries reside in the events of your past experience. All right, the boundary here because of your experience, where you form it become as assumption, a certain assumption about the way things should be. Okay, so that is why I show you the pictures of the maze. I told you that help monkey to get the crown. All right, your assumption, your boundary has already blocked you in your brain that okay, we will go through the maze. There is no way go through the maze. So, but there is a way out. Allow the maze. This is why we call as a consumption because you create your boundary, and then your boundary become a certain your assumption in your brain, and then you think that this should be true. Okay. So when you grow up, become adults, there are many assumptions will go with you. You will create the boundary and encode the assumptions happen to your life. Many assumptions will be encoded in your life. All right? And then it become your visions of the world. One day, you become the head or you become the candidates for the manager or the heads of departments of the deans or the vice president or the president. Assumptions, right, that you already encoded, it will show you when you give the speech of the vision you are or with the vision you have. Believe me, if you was born in the family which have so many empathy, the empathy here, and then your family asks you and help you, and you help to help other people. Of course, your brain will encoded assumptions, so many assumptions about empathy. And then when you give a speech about the visions, of course, you will give a visions about the empathy. Okay? It is our mind to program based on our perspective. So the variations will change to behave us as we could will behave our mind, we will program our mind as your perspective. So that's why when we see any situation, when I ask you about the dust of PM 2.5 in Chiang Rai province, there are so many people complain in Facebook because this is a program, the mind program, and then it's become perspective already. Okay? Try to make yourself understand about it. Every slide combine to each other. The boundary, you have the boundary, you encode it, make the boundary become assumption. You create your assumption yourself because you know that you believe that that's the way your assumption is the way you are right. And then many assumptions, when you grow up, many assumptions will create to be your vision and then your perspective. When you become stressed, you know why? Because when the things or the situations are not happening as the way you believe, and then you become stressed. You become stressed because the thing is different from your assumption. All right? The assumptions created in your life, and then if the thing is happen in the way that you think you believe, it's different. It creates your stress. And then after that, go back to the first slide that I show you. When you become stressed, it will promote the reaction instead of intelligence action. All right? That means that you react in the negative way, not act intelligently. You know what I mean? You got it? All right? You got it? So you have a boundary, you create the boundary by yourself, and then become encoded, become assumptions. And many assumptions become your what? Become your vision. And then your perspective. When the situation, when the thing is not happen in the way that you believe, based on your assumption, you become stressed. And then you will react in a negative way, not act intelligently. Okay? Next one. Not only the boundary and assumption, not only the boundary and assumption, but you also set up the rules of engagement. The rule of engagement here means the way you get the information. You set up your own rules. Nobody makes a rule for you. The rule here means one, you can do this, you cannot do this, you can do this, you cannot do it, blah, blah, blah. The rule of engagement by yourself, you automatically create the rules of engagement by yourself without your awareness. So that means that your experience taught you, if you act in this way, you will get the result this way. It's very simple, huh? If you, because of your experience, you will think that, okay, I will do this way, and then the result will be this way. Therefore, you already create your rules of engagement without your awareness. All right? You got it? Follow me. It's our automatic reactions to protect your versions of reality when the things don't go according to your assumption and it's not in the lines of your desired outcome. All right? It is happen as a subconscious reactions for emotional of yourself or self-preservation. You become angry because you set up the assumption, you set up the rules of engagement by yourself. If the thing not happen in the way that you think, the way that you trust, the way that you create in your brain, you will become angry. It is a violence to your rules of also engagement, and you become crazy. All right? Follow me now. Encoded assumption and rules of engagement. Look at this picture. The monkey here, you with your encoded assumption, and then when you are violated, you will become crazy like a lizard. You will blah, blah, blah. You will react in a negative way, not act intelligently. So when your encoded assumptions are violated, your automatic program reactions that we call as a rule engagement will take over, and you will lose your inability to act intelligently. Okay? Got it? Okay now? Do not react. Do not react, but act intelligently. All right? Follow me. how there is explanations of psychology by means of intelligence. Okay? I hope you can do a quiz, huh? And then I hope all of you can do an examination, huh? I go very slowly, huh? There are two cycles here. You can explain it, I expect. There are two cycles. Inside cycle, small cycle, and big cycle. Okay? Request to no. I do not know. Huh? The cycle, we call it the cycles of tolerance. Okay? So, next one, the outside cycle here is called encoded assumption. That's you create by yourself. You see? And then the rule also, the rules of engagement that you also created. Okay? And then when the encoded assumption is really high, really thick, of course, the circle of tolerance here will be small. That means that there are so many assumptions, and you create really, very big or many rules of your engagement. All right? So the circle of tolerance will be small. And then the rule of engagement is really big. And of course, you will act not intelligently. Okay? Because the small tolerance. You trust yourself, you believe yourself, you don't care any people. You go by your way because you think you trust that. You are right. Okay? So you don't listen to other people. So the circle of tolerance will be smaller. Okay? Next one. Another picture. Now, the circle, the outside circle is small. And then the circle of tolerance big. That means that you reduce your boundary. You reduce your encoded assumption. And then you agree, not strict in your own rules of engagement. That mean that you start to listen to other people. You start to listen to your friend. You start to listen to other people in your environment. And then, of course, you will understand it. And then the cycle of tolerance will be bigger. And then the encoded assumption and low engagement will be smaller. All right? So the encoded, the correlation here is encoded assumption will be lower. Circle of tolerance will be higher. Why? It will become bigger. And of course, low engagement will become smaller. And of course, no matter the situation is, no matter scenario is, no matter problem encounter with your life is, you will act intelligently. Because you know why? You listen to other people. You understand the situation. You are not focused on your own encoded assumption or your own rules of engagement. And that's why the circle of tolerance become bigger. Okay? So I come to this slide. What time is it? 5 o'clock. So shall we go on?
5-minute break, Sajan.
Okay, 5 minutes break. Okay, so that will be the second part. Okay?
Okay, Ajahn.
So everyone, we have a 5 minutes break and then we come back. So now what time is it here? The time is let me see. The time is 7:10. So come back. No. 5:10. All right? Right? And then we come back by 5:15. Okay? Yeah, 5 minute break. เก่งอาจารย์ไม่ได้บันทึกนะ เพราะว่านึกได้ว่าภาพมันมีลิขสิทธิ์
ครับ ไม่เป็นไรครับ
โอเค5 นาทีเบรก5 นาทีครับเนื่องจากครับ All right. Now, let's continue the second part. So it will take about 1 hour. I try to end up by 6 o'clock, and then we will do a quiz together. Okay? So when we have the boundary and you create the encoded, you create the assumptions in our life. And then when you create many assumptions, and then you also create the rules of engagement. And then you listen to other people. And then you get cruel with other people. The question is, by means of intelligence, the question is, why you are right? Why you are not wrong? Why you are right? Because we don't like to be wrong. Okay? Why we are right? Because we don't like to be wrong. Of course, when we are wrong and know it, our RAS or reticular activating system will still look for the reasons to justify our action, so we don't feel too long. Okay? All right? You understand what I mean?
No.
No, why? You know why? When you know yourself that you get something wrong, and then your brain, your RAS, will look for the reasons, try to justify your action so that you don't feel too long. Not serious long. But we don't know exactly whether it's serious or not serious. But it make you feel, that's why this is wrong, just wrong. Okay?
And it says it's right, it should be done.
Yeah, to be done. Yeah. And then when something goes wrong, your RAS or your brains will find out the reasons why your problem is caused by some other or some external source.
Yes.
And then you will feel that it is not your really fault. This is not your fault. Okay? That is why you are right. The reason why you are right. When something's go wrong, your RAS will find the reasons why your problem is caused by other. Because is it wrong? Because the external sources, example, and then that it is not because of your fault. All right. In order, trust me, in order to be right, you need to make other wrongs. All right. In order to be right, in order to make your own to be right, you need to make the others become wrong. Okay? Next. And then the other here, maybe your friend, because you work as a group, as Ajahn asked you to do a group, to do a project with your friend in a group. When the project is not success, and then you feel wrong, and then you want to be the right, not the wrong person. To be right, you need your friend to be wrong. And then also, your friends also don't like to be wrong either. The same as you. And then their IAS, you find their IAS, your friend IAS, you find the reasons why you are wrong and try to make you wrong so they can be right. They will think the same as yours. All right? What happened?
Blame.
Yes. Right. Blaming. Blame. Okay? So when you are be blamed, what happened? You will focus on your self-preservation to protect yourself while you are right and you are not to be blamed. Okay? You try to protect yourself. You should not be blamed. If you are being blamed, and then you are not focusing on the solution, and then the end result is not intelligent because you try yourself. or saying that you are not wrong. You should not be blamed, for example. And then, so because you try to make your own self-preservation, protect yourself, you will try to think about the way to make you become right. All right? So, and then you will not focus on the solution. And then, of course, the result is not intelligent. Why I'm saying this? Paul McGreen, the neuroscientist who discovered our brain and then explain it by means of the function. And then we all understand and known as the Paul McGreen or McGreen model. In this picture, there are about 80% of the brain mass. Okay? 80% of this brain mass, we call it cognitive brain. And these 80% will function for listening, analyzing, creativity, intelligence, and thinking that we call as the thinking brain. Whereas the other 10% we call as the limbic. This is only 10% of the brain mass. It is control our emotion, implement thought into the action, change the thought to the action, and then also the intuitions. Okay? About the emotions and memory. And then the other 10% we name as the reptilian. The reptilian here means 10% of the brain mass. Reptilian means the involuntary actions like the heartbeat, the other organs, like basic instinct or self-preservation. For example, when you use a needle to place on your hand and then you reject, that's we call it that's the basic instinct, for example. So at the reptilian brain here, the 10% is all called as a reaction like the hazards. So now you learn about the four barrier, learn about the action or reactions to environment, about four barrier, about the boundary, about encoded assumptions, and then about the rule of engagements and circle of tolerance, how to react. And then you learn about why you being right, and then why you are not being wrong, why you're not being brain, and then react, intelligence or not intelligence. So now you learn about the Paul McGreen model. This is let you understand. So now when you are facing with any situations that you feel contrast with your encoded assumptions, try to make your 80% of the brain mass, or we call try you use your cognitive brain to solve the problem. Don't use the 10% as the reptilian brain to solve the problem, because it is called like the Lisa's. All right. So try to use whenever you are facing with any problem and want to behave or behave as intelligently. Try to think about this model. Try to avoid using the less 10% of the brain to solve the problem. All right? Try to think to use your 80% of whole as a cognitive brain to solve the problem, because these brain function for listening, analyzing, and then ฮัลโหลอาจารย์สอนหนังสืออยู่ครับ all right, so that's for the thinking brain. Okay, right? That's all for the first part. You understand about the you understand about the environments, the environments and the in case of assumptions, the rule of engagement, right? For barriers, and then and so on. So now, in order to behave intelligently, there's a thing that become inside in yourself. right? In order to make you become success in any task or any job, we name it as the emotional drive. Or understand, you have to understand the human drive force. All right? Why you do this? Why you work the job become success? Why you are not become wrong? There is an emotional driver in yourself. Why you have to enroll this subject? Because you have another different and emotional driver from the other subject. Okay? Look at next slide. This is the icebergs of the perception. This is the icebergs. What we see or what we saw in daily life. This is apparent listening. This is conscious mind only. But in fact, there are many underlying reasons beneath the standard law, or we call it the subconscious mind. There are many reasons underlying, and then you don't see. For example, right, you see that your friend and you become cruel to each other, for example, huh? And then why you are start to thinking about why you become right and why you're not being wrong, why you're not being blamed, for example. The thing that you are cruel and the thing that you see or you participate with your friend is only the apparent listening. But there are many underlying reasons beneath that you do not know. That's why you have to think about the Paul McQueen model. Try to use the cognitive brain to solve the problem because this is about 80% of brain mass. Okay? The next slide. There are about 8 human driving force or human drivers that can push you, can drive you become success in your work or in your job. The first driver is belonging or love. The belonging or love here is the driver inside yourself. This is about the connections from being with others or connection with yourself. If you are the 4th-year student, you want to enroll to this subject, for example, because you are expecting to graduate soon. So you become to love yourself. You love about your future. Love about yourself. Okay? The second human driver is control and security. The control and security here mean you try to protect yourself, you become awareness of whatever you are doing in daily life. This is a greater ability to maintain security in your life. Okay? If you without the security or control of yourself, you will enjoy outside the classroom. You will enjoy the bar beer. You enjoy the nightclub or blah, blah, blah. And then you become insane. Because you love yourself, you think about the security, and then you force you to come to this subject or come to university. The next one, diversity. So that means that after you come study in Mefalwang University, and then you want to upskill to gain many knowledge, because you thought that when you graduate, you will face with many jobs and many people, and that means that you are having a variety and excitement. For example, especially when you are the 4th-year student and you're gonna graduate, you need to upskill and reskill. All right, in order that's the human driver. This human driver will happen to you. This is not will be not happen. The same as you're in when you was the 1st-year student. Okay. The next one is recognition of significance. Sometimes when you are assigned to do any projects by your boss and by your ajahn, by your professor, okay? When you do a project with your friend, sometimes when the project is success, you need the acknowledgement. You need to become the significance of your life, and then your success, you need your success become noticed. All right? This is another human driver will be happen. For a lady, try to remember this, the fifth one, the achievement. When you become a group and working as a teamwork, and then you come to competition, yes, of course, you need to make the progress in your plans in order to get the achievement, to get the highest score. If it is the individual, if it's yourself, okay, you need to get the achievement. Many achievement, many levels of the achievement. It depends on you. If you are now the fourth year student, what is your achievement here? If you are the second year, what is the achievement you are? All right. This is the driver, emotional driver that force you to act intelligently or not intelligently. The sixth one, the challenge and growth. The challenge and growth here means, yes, of course, you want to become the achievement. You need to grow. You need the challenge or growth. That means that you start to learn and grow. Start to learning and growing in your field of study. If you come from the IT faculty, you need to be, you want to learn and grow up to be the engineer. If you come from the language, you want to be the linguist, the professional linguist, for example. If you come from the other field, and then you want to become the growth in your field or your career. All right? And the seventh one is called as the excellence. The excellence here is the one of the emotional driver of people. That means that it is the self-satisfaction and applies in the thing that you do. No matter the project is big or not big. If it's a success, it becomes excellent and you become happy. That's enough. Right? Don't expect too high. Just in the middle, if you plan to do it, this is the human driver called as the excellent. And the last one, the eighth one, the responsibility. That means that when you join to the project, when you join to the any organization, you get proud. And then when you get proud, you will have the emotional driver. That's called as the responsibility. That means that you need to devote your time, devote your life to contribute to the other in order to make the success, the organization become success. The same as yours when you are a student. You want to contribute, you get the success in your studying and contribute your majors. All right? Become success, become famous, make your faculty become famous also. These are all 8 emotional drivers. That's already happened in you. It depends on the time, depends on the you, right? So, and then your behavior, whether is it intelligent or not intelligent, it will depend on your emotional driver also. All right? So, anyway, like I said, it depends on you. All 8 emotional driver here will depend on the environment. Let's back to the first slide. The first slide that I show you about the positive or negative feedback, you understand? You remember it? All right, they act and react. The first slide. So it depends on the first slide of the emotion of environments. So each environment that you are staying with, that you are exceeded in, will fulfill different your emotional drivers. If the environment is your laboratory, so your emotional drivers will be different from dormitory. Okay, the dormitory environment will compose only your friend only, no job, just enjoy. All right. So the environment, so each environment will fulfill different emotional drivers. So now, how do you fulfill your driver? Depends on your friend, depends on your family, whether you join with your friend, you join with your ajahn in the school, or blah blah blah. So this is the thing. This is the psychology of intelligence and cognitions that you have to apply to. When you have time, go back and stay with yourself. Do this exercise by yourself anytime that you need. So anytime that you want to do to check yourself, you have to rank top 3 important drivers. Top 3 important drivers that force you to do or force you to work from now on until you get success. And then you rank bottom 3 drivers that can cause you become less energies, or bottom 3 drivers that not significant at the moment or at any periods of time that you want to investigate of yourself. And then you look at the results, how you came up with your study plan. If you want to investigate yourself while you are studying here, okay? If you want to be graduate in next semester, rank top 3 important driver that can cause you have more energies, that can cause you and force you to become success by means of being graduated in next semester. And then rank bottom 2 drivers that this is not important. So use these all emotional driver to force you to act you become intelligent. All right. So now today you learned already about the cognitions, about the meanings of intelligence, the cognitions, and then it's combined with the intelligence. Is a cognition, and then there are many everything inside. And then you know about the psychologists. All the psychologists will think that intelligence is just concept, not a thing. But how we can act, because intelligence is related to behavior, how you act or behave intelligently. So in order to understand how behave in their intelligence, there is many insight in ourselves. I show you about the action and reaction, and then show you about the 4 barriers that can block you away from the success. And then sometimes these 4 barriers can cause you become insane. And then I let you understand about the boundary. We create the boundary, and then we by ourselves start from the young, and then when you become older, and you create so many boundary, and the boundary will create such assumption. So many assumptions will be created when you become old. And then after that, many assumptions will combine it, automatically become your visions of the world. And then after it becomes your visions of the world, it will become your perspective. All right? So not only at the encoded assumptions, but you also create the rules of engagement. That means that You always learn from the experience, from our past experience, that you think that if you do this way and then you will get the result this way. You learn from the past experience. When you grow up, the low engagement will combine with the engagement, with the encoded assumptions. And then one day, or maybe every day, you face with any scenario or we face with any situation that's violated to your own encoded assumptions and violated to the rules of your own engagement. And then you become stressed. You become unhappy. And then you really act not intelligently. Okay? And then that's it. Why I let you understand it? Because our brain, there are three types of brain. The first we name as the cognitive brain. It's almost about 80% of the brain mass. This is functions of the listenings, analyzing, or blah, 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 about the executive functions of the brain. Whereas the less 10% is about the emotions. If you are facing with, or if you are violated by the other thing that difference from your rules of engagement and difference from your encoded assumptions. If you spend your brain, the 10% of emotional brain, of course, you will act or behave not intelligently. The same at 10%, the less 10% of reptilian brain, the 10% of the brain mass here can make people become crazy and do illegally behavior. All right? These are all the concepts of power mechanism. And after that, you know about the encoded assumptions, you know about the rule of engagement by your own. And then what happened? You are making or participating with the other people in the society. What happened? When there is a cruel each other or the problem in the group, you try to think about why you are being right and the other being wrong for sure. You don't like to be wrong. The other people, of course, will like the same as you. The other people will don't like wrong either. You did anything wrong, you will try yourself to protect you, or we call as self-preservation. Try to think about the external sources or cause that cause you become wrong, and then it starts to be cruel, and then the situation we call is at blaming. All right. So that's the situations related to your knowledge, sensory, or perceptual, associative, many things that combine between cognition and intelligence. That's what I say. Even though you have a high knowledge, many knowledge about the thing, but sometimes you cannot behave intelligently. These are all the psychologies of the intelligence and cognitions that happen in your daily life. If you understand it, when you grow up, you graduate, you get a job, and then the emotional driver, about 8 emotional driver, already exited into your. Each emotional driver will function differently according to time. During the 4th year student, you use a different emotional driver compared to the 1st year student. And then after you graduate from the university, you look for the job, you apply for the job, you will use a different emotional driver that can force you to become success. So how do you behave intelligently? These are all happen in your life. That's the topic that I really want to deliver to all of you today about the cognition and intelligence. You got it? All right. So next, we will have a quiz together. Guys, will stop sharing. Okay? I will share another slide. Let me see. Share the slide. Okay, here, the slide for the quiz. Huh? Slide for the quiz. Oh, sorry. Okay. Are you ready?
Yep.
Yeah, screen 2. I will share the screen. You see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. You see the screen now here. Try to focus slide by slide. This is will be happen in the examinations. That means that the topics of cognition and intelligence. Okay, the quiz. You understand? You remember? No matter the culture is, intelligence is ability to what? To learn from experience, to solve the problems, and use your own knowledge to adapt to new situations. Okay? This is the meaning. No matter the culture is, the organizations that we normally endorse and follow is American Psychological Association, we call as the APA, will be the biggest or the famous organizations who help us to classify the cognition, intelligence, or other issues of the psychology. All right? So APA, by mean APA, mentions about intelligence as the intellectual functioning. And the intellectual functioning here is the mental ability that's composed of listening, planning, problem solving, abstract thinking, comprehending complex idea, learning quickly, and also learning from experience. These are all the APA mentions about intelligence by means of mental ability. And then whenever the intellectual functionings impaired, we call as an intellectual disability. Okay? So we use the questionnaires or the test to see the performance of the intelligence. We know as the intelligence quotient or IQ. But normally, the IQ test don't measure all kinds of intelligence, right? And then intelligence is a cognition. That's come from what? The sensory, the perceptual associated, and also related to the knowledge of relational knowledge. And then it is the cognitive process that's composed of the information coding, planning, attention, and arousal. So in summary, the intelligence here means the ability to modify or adjust behavior to make the task successfully, and also involved with different mental processes and vary in natures, depends on everyone cultures. All right. So we have four-way barrier. Try to remember it. The common sense is not common. No existent. If you can do it, if I can do it, you can do it too. No existent. People should be fair. Is no existent. The truth is universal. Is no existent. Okay. The four scenarios of the fulfillment and the focus, whether you need to avoid, what scenario you need to avoid, what scenario you have to limit your behavior, what scenario you have to manage your behavior, and then what scenario you have to focus on. Try to remember four scenarios. And then the boundaries. Why the boundaries? Because the boundary you create by yourself and then it's formed to be the assumption. And these all assumptions will be encoded when you encoded to become your perspective. All right? And then when become the violent, you will become crazy. Okay? Because of all the things. We have two circles. We have a cycle tolerance. If the encoded assumptions and rule engagement, you create more and more. So the circle of tolerance, your tolerance, you cannot tolerate to other environments, that becomes smaller. So encoded assumption will be high, circle of tolerance will be lower, and rule of engagement will be higher, so you act not intelligently. So compare with the other situations. If you make your own encoded assumptions smaller, and then you listen to other people while not making any rules of engagement, so the encoded, that means that encoded assumptions and rule of engagement become smaller. All right, encoded assumption becomes smaller. Of course, the circle of tolerance will be bigger. That means that you listen to other people, and then of course, for sure, you react intelligently. Learn about the Palmac ring. There are three brains here. The cognitive brain is composed of about 80% of the brain mass, and 10% for the limbic that function for emotion, and the less 10% of the brain mass that we name as the reptilian brain that function as the lizards by means of basic instinct or inventory action, right? So whenever you are facing with any situation, you have to act intelligently by means that you use 80% of the brain mass or use the cognitive brain instead of you use the reptilian brain or limbic brain. And we have 8 emotional drivers that you have to understand. You have to know each of the emotional driver because it can help you, because all of these emotional drivers will force you to become success or not success in your daily life. Depends on your environment. Now you are living in Chiang Mai, you are studying in university, you living with your friend, and sometimes you go back home, you live with your family. They are all dependent on the environment. Emotional driver will force you to do or behave intelligently or not. That is why it's important for the cognitive and intelligent. Because you fulfill your emotional driver in positive way, try to not force it or push your emotional driver in a negative way. And then when you do it, you are usually right, and your IS will make sure of that, and then you will get success. Okay? That's all for my lecture today. I hope that all of you will get understand about the intelligence and cognition, and then that is the learning outcome of what? Of the subjects of psychology in daily life. It doesn't mean that you have to remember all the content. You learn to get the issue, the topics, and you adapt yourself to daily life. Apply it. Okay?
What about the quiz, Azan?
What?
Quiz.
The quiz already, I show you.
It was a review of the whole lesson.
Quiz and quick. You got it? You got all the quiz?
Where is the quiz?
Yes. The quiz is the quiz. I show you the quiz.
That was the review of the whole lesson.
That's I call the quiz.
Ah, okay. Last time you made us do questions.
That's the quiz.
Okay, Azar.
That's all already. That's all already the quiz. And then the quiz will be shown in the examination. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got it? Yes, that's it. All right, so student, any questions? So far, so good?
No.
Huh? No? Why not no? Is it almost 10 o'clock? 10 minutes? Oh, 6 o'clock, 10 minutes. Okay.
One question. When I don't get the desired result in psychology exam, even though I think that I did well, how do I feel
Can
about
I
it?
help you? I cannot help you.
You know, Arjun.
Yeah. I show already all the questions examination by means of the quiz.
But it is for the final term, right? Not now, na? I'm talking about the midterm exam.
Is it difficult for the midterm exam?
Confusing, but I wouldn't say difficult. It was confusing. But you know, Arjun, ever since the exam grades we get, I
Uh-huh.
think that I should get good marks, but I didn't get good marks. And I'm not blaming Arjun or anything, but
Yeah. That's why I already mentioned in the class that this is all, in the PowerPoint. Okay? So
most
it is up to all of you whether you pay attention to the all slides or not. All right? So this time the quiz already shown to
I
all
need
of
to
you.
focus, high focus,
Yeah.
focus.
Yeah.
Focus also.
Sure. Focus and IAS. That is. Okay, everyone. So
Yes.
no more questions. All right. So I hope that all of you. Let me check in the chat. Let me see. เก่งในนี้มีอะไรบ้างมีเช็คชื่อไหมคะ
เช็คไปแล้วครับ
เช็คไปแล้วเนาะโอเค
เพราะว่าผมส่งลิงก์ให้ในแชทบอกครับ
โอเคถ้าเช็คแล้วไม่ต้องเช็คอีกไหมครับไม่ครับสำหรับคนที่
ไม่
เข้ามายังไม่ได้เช็คชื่อละครับ no อาจารย์อะไรอาจารย์ Okay, got it. Ajahn, please can you show again? Show what? Show the quiz. No more. I showed already. I show quiz ตรงไหนคะ No, I showed the quiz already. All the slide, all the quiz I showed you to you. If you focus on the slide, if you pay more attention to the quiz, that's all. It will be exceeded in the examination. Okay? Got it? Any questions? Hurry up. 3 minutes. 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes. TikTok, any questions? Try to understand slide by slide. Try to understand slide by slide. Okay? Try to remember to make understand of slide because every slide will be combined to each other. It's not separated by individual slide. Okay? And then after my lectures, I show you the slide for the quiz. The quiz, my quiz here means that show you the examination. That's the quiz. Okay? If you don't pay attention to the quiz slide, is it a trick? That means that you don't know how to do the examination. Okay? Okay? All right? เก่งจบแล้วนะ
อ๋อครับ
Okay, thank you everyone. See you in the examination. If you have any questions so far, you can send me, you can text me, send me email in the Google Classroom. Okay? Thank you everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you. Bye bye. เก่งอาจารย์ออกแล้วนะ
ได้ครับออกเลยครับครับ
พี่เก่งขอบคุณมากนะคะ
ครับโอเคครับอาจารย์
ค่ะ
ครับอาจารย์ปิดคลาสแล้วก็ได้นะครับ
โอเคได้เลยงั้นเดี๋ยวอาจารย์ปิดเลยนะคะ
ได้ครับ
ครับผ
ไว้เจอ
ม
กันนะครับอาจารย์
เจอกันค่ะ
ครับ